And before we get to Dana, we have been tracking Hurricane Erin so far this week, and now it's a Category 5. NOAA officials and the hurricane hunters flew through the eye today, yesterday, and Thursday to gather weather data on the upcoming storm. Hurricane Erin is one of the fastest, rapidly intensifying storms in the Atlantic Ocean's history. Now, Dana, will we be seeing any of the impacts here?
We're going to see indirect impacts.
Gotcha.
So Erin is projected to go out to sea, but what we could end up seeing from that, for example, are rip currents, some higher waves, maybe some more moisture in the atmosphere. But yeah, Hurricane Erin is one of the most rapidly intensification storms that we've seen in the Atlantic. It went from a Category 1 to a Category 5 in just over 24 hours. Looks like at this point it has been downgraded to a 4 once again, but still a very strong storm passing just north of Puerto Rico right now. And it's projected to, as we call, thread the needle between mainland United States and Bermuda. However, we're still going to continue to track this storm as it continues to move farther northward to see exactly what impacts it'll be having on the U.S. We'll talk more about that storm and how it will impact us indirectly here in Maine in just a couple minutes. Our high temperatures for today, though, it was a bit warmer in some spots. We got to 91 degrees in Freiburg today, 86 in Augusta, 88 in Millinocket, 84 for a high today in Calais. Our dew point temperatures have started to rise just a little bit. So our dew points were still pretty comfortable throughout the day, but closer to the coast especially, we've started to get into the low 60s, and that starts to put us more in that sticky category. The good news is that it's only going to be humid for one day, which is tomorrow, and then we're right back to much more refreshing weather. So this is the front that's going to bring us our storm activity for tomorrow. Right now it's moving through areas of Canada, and it'll move from north to south throughout the state as we get into tomorrow afternoon. So we'll start to see that front approaching areas of the county by about 8 a.m., but it's a little bit slow to move into the rest of the state. So most storm activity will start around noon and continue till about 6 to 7 p.m. There's going to be a decent amount of storms around, which could be good because we do need the rain to help us with the drought. So hopefully a decent amount of us will be able to get some rain out of this system. We'll also be watching for the potential for a couple of severe storms. Most of those, again, would be about 2 to 5 p.m. in areas of southern Maine. That front will push offshore during the overnight hours, and then we end up with a lot of sunshine during the day on Monday, until we get to Tuesday, where we'll have some increase in clouds. So here's our severe weather risk for tomorrow. So we're in a level 1 or marginal risk here for the areas shaded in this bright green color. So that includes Bangor, areas of the mid-coast, and then southern Maine and southern New Hampshire. Main threat here would be some damaging wind gusts with some of those stronger storms. Area of high pressure moves in behind that front for tomorrow, so we end up with a good amount of sunshine and a nice but cool day on Monday. A bit cloudier during the afternoon on Tuesday because we have a smaller system here that will be approaching for Wednesday, giving us another chance of scattered showers, which again, we do need the rain to help out with the drought. And then, like we just talked about earlier, we're watching the passage of Hurricane Erin, which looks to be passing far enough away where we'd only end up with indirect impacts here. One of those would be higher waves and rip currents, for example, as the storm traverses between the mainland U.S. and Bermuda. So especially as we get into the latter half of next week, large waves and rip currents likely. Marine forecast sees 1 to 2. Ocean temp is 65. Here's a look at that 7-day forecast. So we'll be tracking those scattered showers and thunderstorms as we go throughout tomorrow afternoon. So make sure you stick with us for that. Then we enter a bit of a cooling trend for next week. Temperatures will be returning to below average for this time of year. Most of our highs will be in the low to mid 70s. And then Sam, obviously we'll be watching Erin as it continues to progress. A very interesting storm, that's for sure.
Yes. Thank you, Dana, for tracking it all.